Hey Steelers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to our Pittsburgh Steelers news and rumor video here as the free agency madness continues on a Wednesday. You're officially allowed to sign people later on today, although you can already obviously agreed to terms on a lot of players, as Pittsburgh has. We'll get into the latest signings as well as news and rumors. First, though, we are so close to 10,000 subscribers. We're growing at an incredible rate right now. A lot of you guys recognize that this is your one-stop shop for everything regarding your Pittsburgh Steelers. Literally news, rumors, mock drafts, mock trades, trade updates, mailbag videos, and all in a short, concise 10 minutes in, out, get you up to date in the latest Pittsburgh Steelers stuff. If you like that format, like the channel, help us get to 10K subscribers. Once we hit 10K subs, we're going to drop another mock draft, a post-free agency mock draft, probably a little later on next week. It's all going to happen soon. Go down below right now and subscribe. All right, for the latest Steelers news and rumors in terms of NFL free agency, remember, of course, it's being filmed early on a Wednesday. Things are constantly changing, and so maybe things I talked about today that are already happening later on this afternoon. Who knows? But here is what we know as of right now, filming on a Wednesday. Pittsburgh has just made another addition, which was broken by Jordan Schultz on Twitter. I'll throw it up on your screen right now. They have added a free agent cornerback, possibly a starting free agent cornerback as well for 2022. Here's your tweet. Quote, breaking, former Bills cornerback Levi Wallace has agreed to terms with the Pittsburgh Steelers on a 2-year deal worth $8 million per sources, end quote. So, the Steelers have added a cornerback, potentially a Joe Haden replacement. They're going to re-sign Joe Haden. Joe Haden is a free agent, so you're kind of wondering what they're going to do at the cornerback spot. This is one of the answers. So, first off, it's great value. This is a guy who was undrafted coming out of college and then has worked his way on to being a starting cornerback for the Buffalo Bills. A little bit of issue with COVID last year, on off the football field, only played in 12 games, but the value there seems to be really great, and I do think he will be a starting cornerback next season. Now, this doesn't solve everything that you have with the cornerback spot. It just means that you have one of your pieces, and in reality, they need probably another one, right? Because again, Joe Haden probably going to go ahead and test the free agent market. At least he already is testing the free agent market. Probably going to sign elsewhere. You have Cam Sutton, technically. Do you trust him to be a starter? Not really sure. I think they're still going to add another cornerback at some point, either in free agency or, more importantly, the NFL draft. But this is a good, solid signing for the Steelers, who have had a good, solid free agency period, focusing on a lot of the big needs they've had, or at least have had so far back in 2021. How good is Levi Wallace on a Madden scale? How about that for a question here? Pin comment down below. 1 to 100. What would you rate him if you had him on Madden right now? Don't cheat. Don't go look at your Madden profile. What would you rate him on your Madden level right now? Give me your thoughts down below in the comments section. All right, more Steelers news and rumors. Tyrann Mathieu was one of the biggest names still left on the board as of filming this, and there are multiple sources who are saying the Pittsburgh Steelers are at least semi-interested. Now, again, you say that, and you could say that for every single player. The Steelers might be interested in this player or that player, but Tyrann Mathieu's name is getting thrown around a lot because Pittsburgh obviously might need a safety, could use a safety, and he is, again, one of the biggest names still left on the board. You saw a lot of the safeties go off the board yesterday. Marcus Williams inside the Steelers division got a massive deal by the Baltimore Ravens, and so you expect Tyrann Mathieu to be expensive. His problem really is age. I think that's, it's not performance, because you see the numbers over the past 4 years. He's still, top in tackles and almost in his career, 3 interceptions. Like, he's been very, very successful. The issue here is age. So you want to give an aging Tyrann Mathieu, almost 30-year-old Tyrann Mathieu, a 3-year deal, 4-year deal, 5-year deal? Like, what's the question here? So I'm not against it. A lot of Steelers fans are also not against it as well, but he's a name that is getting thrown around right now, and I'm very curious to see what Pittsburgh is going to do with the rest of their defensive backfield, because again, you still have some free agents on the market like Mathieu and some free agent cornerbacks as well, but the draft is pretty good. It looks pretty loaded at cornerback and has some decent safeties, and so do you want to wait for the draft? Do you want to get your guys now? Who knows, but just know that this is definitely somebody to keep an eye on in terms of Pittsburgh. I don't think they're going to sign him, but his name's been thrown around, so obviously we mentioned here on the channel. If you guys would want Tyrann Mathieu, give this video a thumbs up. You guys want Tyrann Mathieu, give the video a thumbs up right now. Again, my problem in free agency is spending too much money on aging players, right? Either aging players or injured players. If you can get young guys, a second contract guy, 26 years old, 27 years old, that to me is the sweet spot in free agency. Not for everybody, but still, when you get to someone over 30, I mean, it's just a little bit harder for me to do. I still would be fine with it. Curious what you guys think. Give this video a thumbs up right now. Another name, great player, aging cornerback, is Stephon Gilmore. There's been no real sources saying that the Steelers are for sure going to get him, but there are some people on Twitter suggesting that Pittsburgh is at least making the phone calls and making the rounds and taking a look at Gilmore, who of course was traded over to the Panthers this past season, right around the trade deadline. He's played very, very well. The issue again is age. You're looking at a 30-plus-year-old cornerback. Do you want to pair him with Levi Wallace? That could work, but how long is it going to go ahead and work for? I'm a big Stephon Gilmore fan, but if he wants top-of-the-line cornerback money. I'm not sure if Pittsburghers want to go ahead and shell that out when they've already given a lot of money to the offensive line with their signings over the past couple of days. So, not a lot of concrete evidence on Stephon Gilmore, a lot more, Twitter reporters saying, ooh, there's some sources telling me this, sources telling me that. So, it's a lot of smoke to kind of weave through right now, but know that Gilmore and Tyrann Mathieu are both targets and could possibly become Pittsburgh Steelers if they wanted to go ahead and pull the trigger. The question is going to be age and just how expensive. If you had to pick between the two, Tyrann Mathieu or Stephon Gilmore, who would you rather have? Type M down below for Mathieu or type G down below for Gilmore. I'm going to read the comments. I want to see where Steeler fans and Steeler Nation is at in terms of these two aging stars in the defensive backfield. All right, there is another tweet from Jordan Schultz that popped up 2 days ago that we haven't gotten to yet on the channel that I wanted to throw out there as well because, again, a ton of news, a ton of rumors. Will it come true? Will it not? Who knows? But Schultz had this to say about a trade for the Steelers. Quote, hashtag Eagles receiving a lot of interest in 6-time Pro Bowler defensive tackle Fletcher Cox. League sources say hashtag Bills, hashtag Steelers, and hashtag Chargers all interested. Cardinals aren't due to lack of money. Trading Cox would mean a $40 million dead cap charge for Philly, so the return would have to be substantial, end quote. So, the Steelers have at least made a phone call, and I've corroborated multiple other reports I found online saying that is true. Philadelphia has been receiving phone calls regarding defensive tackle Fletcher Cox, and so Pittsburgh at least has made a phone call here. I don't know if this is going to become true, though. I think that Fletcher Cox is going to cost too much, and you saw what Jordan Schultz, had to say, is that if Philly trades Cox, it's going to cost them $40 million in a dead cap hit. So they're fine with doing it. You just have to get enough in return if they want to eat that much money. And so Pittsburgh would presumably have to trade first-round draft pick, second-round draft pick, a player. Like, it would cost a lot. So Pittsburgh, I think, at least checked in because they do need help internally, and Cox is a great run stopper and even a great pass rusher, too, despite over the age of 30 and declining in terms of stats technically over the past couple of years. But this seems to be like more of a check-in and less of a, we really want Fletcher Cox. What is it going to take to get him? It's more of a, hey, we see you're not very thrilled with Fletcher Cox. What would it take to get him? Sort of phone call. You get my drift here. So this is at least out there. There have at least been multiple reports saying the phone call has happened. The question, much like the rest of the news today, will it actually happen? If it does, we'll cover it here on the channel. And speaking of which, as I mentioned, if any of this does happen, and that's kind of the point of today's video, is giving you guys names that might go ahead and fall to Pittsburgh. If they do, we get a video. If they don't, we talk about other people they might go ahead and get. That's the point of the channel. Get you guys up to date on the latest Steelers news and rumors. So go down below and subscribe if you like with the format, you like what we're doing here, and help us get to 10K subs because we are growing at a very quick rate. I found a quick story here, not Steeler related, but it is division related, and that is the Baker Mayfield drama. Undoubtedly, if you have Twitter, you saw over the evening where multiple reports are suggesting the Browns have met, or at least are meeting with Deshaun Watson later today. One of 4 teams that Watson has taken meetings with, including the Saints, the Carolina Panthers, and the Atlanta Falcons. So the Browns are the one AFC team that the Houston Texans are willing to trade him to, because presumably he has to waive his no-trade clause. This all sparked Baker Mayfield releasing a statement on Twitter saying that it seems like he's heading out the door. It wasn't official like peace out. It was more of like a, hey, I've heard the rumors, so if I do leave, thanks for everything sort of thing. It does seem like the Browns are very much trying to upgrade the quarterback spot. It's been reported this whole offseason. The question is, will it be Baker Mayfield or Jimmy Garoppolo, who's still on the market right now, or, heaven forbid, Deshaun Watson? Now, to get a trade for Deshaun Watson, the Browns have to give up a king's ransom to get him, and so the odds of him going ahead and coming to the AFC North are still alive, but it's not necessarily a guarantee at this point. So just know that the Browns are at least meeting with Deshaun Watson. The Browns also honestly have created a really interesting problem, because if they don't get Watson, then they still got to trade Baker Mayfield. And then if you trade Baker Mayfield, what's the solution there? Are they going to get Jimmy Garoppolo, who's one of the few quarterback trade targets left available after Kirk Cousins re-signed, you saw Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson and Carson Wentz, or do they draft somebody and start over? Like, obviously, again, it's a Steeler-related channel, but the Steelers play the Browns twice a year, and, the Browns have kind of had the Steelers number, or at least it's been close in terms of the Browns being a lot better than they have been the past couple of seasons. So keep an eye on this. We're just going to follow it very closely to see what the Browns are going to end up doing, but seemingly Baker Mayfield is on the way out, and the question will be who will be the next quarterback to join both, I guess, Mitchell Trubisky and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow in the AFC North. A lot of roster stuff still yet to change, but we'll finish on this question. Who is the best AFC North team right now? Who's the beast of the North? Is it Pittsburgh? Is it the Browns? Maybe the Bengals right now? Is it somebody else? We'll have to revisit this after the NFL draft because things are going to change, but give me your thoughts in the comment section right now. Okay, follow me on Twitter, @RealThomasMott. That's the place to find me. If you have Steelers-related questions, DM me on my Twitter account. Give me a follow, and also stay tuned because obviously if things happen, I'll like and retweet and tweet about it regarding the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I am a good follow, shameless plug. And of course, we'll have a mailbag video later on this weekend. So use the hashtag Steelers. Ask any sort of question you possibly could want, and maybe it'll get answered down below in the comment section. All right, be sure to subscribe. Ultimately, for today, a lot happening, a lot to update you on, a lot will change. We'll cover it here on the channel. For our Steelers news and rumors, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.